This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, run them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineup, and see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. Xfinity kicked off the weekend with their first playoff race on Saturday. AJ Allmendinger taking the victory in a 2-lap dash over Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Josh Berry, and Noah Gragson. 8 of the top 10 are playoff drivers. Good runs also by Stephen Parsons, Parker Retzlaff. 11 of the top 20 were playoff drivers. However, the one that was not was Riley Herbst. He had a mechanical issue after Stage 2. He actually won Stage 2 and then went back to the garage. He finished 37th, a big hole for him to dig out of. Now it is time for the Cup event. It is Brad Keselowski on the pole. On his side is Joey Logano. The round of 12 is here at Texas. Green flag is out. Keselowski trying to hold on to the lead, but William Byron pushes through on the inside, and he is going to lead lap number 1. Keselowski fading back a little bit. That's going to be short-lived as Tyler Reddick moves his way to the front. 8.7 average finish at this track. However, not going to be able to parlay that into a championship. Knocked out after Bristol. He and his teammate Austin Dillon. And add on to that list Kyle Busch. 2 engine issues during that round of 16 and also a spin at Kansas. Busch, a 4-time winner at this racetrack. However, at this point, he's just going for points position because he cannot go for that title, and neither can Kevin Harvick, also eliminated from the playoffs. Just unfortunate circumstances for him. The fire at Darlington, the crash at Kansas, even a top 10 finish at Bristol was unable to put him into the next round. Looking at another driver who is not in the playoffs. Of course, he did not make the playoffs overall. Martin Truex Jr., 17 top 10s at this racetrack, and trying to work his way forward. He's not doing too well at the moment as he's outside the top 10. Joey Logano runs in the 3rd position. He's led some decent laps here, and he is trying to catch up to Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick, who are way out in front at the moment. Logano has a 16-point edge on the cut line after the points reset for the round. Starting to see some green flag pit stops here. Denny Hamlin, the first one to come down. Here comes Kyle Larson, giving up the lead, and Tyler Reddick will come down a little bit later. And that should cycle out these stops. We're seeing a move on the outside by Kyle Larson, and he's going to get into Justin Haley. 31 car trying to get around Austin Dillon, and the 5 car was on the outside, and that puts Haley into the wall. Bit concerning there for the 5 car. Going to see what happens to him. Get to the restart, but we see Tyler Reddick has been called down to pit lane. Unsure what that was for as he was leading at the restart. Eric Jones also came down behind him. We look back to last weekend. Chris Buescher made it 19 winners in 2022, ties an all-time record in the Cup Series. Great run by Buescher to get a victory, not impacted by weather. Ryan Blaney gets out in front at the moment and looks like he might cruise his way to a stage victory. However, problems for Kevin Harvick, and Austin Cindric goes around right in front of the leader. It sounds like Harvick has a tire issue, and he was slowing on the racetrack, and Austin Cindric runs into his back. And the 4 car pulls away, and I'm sure Cindric will as well, but that will end Stage 1 as Blaney takes the stage win. Logano, Chastain, Larson falls. So does Austin Dillon, who was eliminated last round. And then the rest of the drivers in this top 10 are playoff drivers. So a bit of a bizarre way to end Stage 1, but now we move on to Stage 2, and Blaney out in front with Logano to his side. It looks like we have an engine problem for Harrison Burton. Having a rough rookie season, and now the 21 will coast around to pit lane. Looks like we won't get a caution, but that 21 car is out of the race now. Here we see Kyle Larson, who was the winner of our last points-paying Texas race. Obviously, Blaney got the All-Star win, and conveniently, second place runner in that race is right in front of him. In fact, all 4 of the Hendrick cars are right there in a line, so they're trying to work their way up, but they are all inside the top 10 at the moment. Austin Cindric kind of impacted by that contact with Kevin Harvick, and he is trying to keep himself alive in these playoffs, and with the reset, he is now 12th out of 12. Not by too many points, but obviously back behind the cut line. Now looking at Ryan Blaney, who got that Stage 1 win, and he entered this race in 8th position, so right at the cut line. hopefully those stage points will help him out, as we're now starting to see some green flag pit stops. Martin Truex Jr. had the lead. Now he gave it up, and that will start the green flag cycle. William Byron coming down with Kyle Larson. Austin Dillon, who was up there contending for that lead, will come down and bring a gauntlet of cars with him. And we're going to have another problem here in turn 1. This time William Byron goes around right in front of Corey LaJoie. It looks like the 24 was approaching the 7, who was running a little bit slower. And as he tried to make the move, Keselowski was already to his inside, and they make contact. Unfortunately, the 24 did not take the 7 with him, but that will bring Byron around with some contact to the wall. And it looks like they'll move on. Here comes a big run from Ross Chastain to the inside of Kyle Busch, looking for that lead. Chastain has not made too many friends this season, and he is still trying to be aggressive to go for some stage wins and some race wins. And this time, he'll make it pay off with a pass on Kyle Busch to end stage 2. Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Austin Dillon also up there inside the top 5. So now we come to this final stint. About 120 laps to go in this one, and Kyle Busch got the lead on the pit stop, but Ross Chastain back in front, and now a spin on the front stretch. Justin Haley hard near the wall, and William Byron also going to get slowed up by it. Two drivers that have already had incidents today. They're going to get involved with each other. It looks like there might have been some contact back there that turned around the 31 car. That wasn't Byron in the first place. And there's going to be another spin here on the front stretch as they get back to restart. And more contact here as Larson buries into the 19 car, and the track is blocked. And the whole field is piling into this accident. Looks like the 19 car got turned around. The 12 car was to his outside. Let's take another look. There's a squeeze there. I think that's Austin Dillon in the middle. And the 19 car hits the outside wall. Then Larson hits Truex. And then everyone from there gets collected as the 8 car goes around. And just look at those hits as everyone just piles into this accident. And there's going to be a lot of cars that are taken out in this one. And that is going to be a reduced field here. As you can see, a lot of cars have gone behind the wall. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there was a lot of contenders, but it's still going to play an impact on this race. Looking off of Chase Briscoe, following Ross Chastain, chasing down the leader as he is looking for some good finish points because he is just below the cut line. But Ryan Blaney coming down to pit lane. It sounds like he has a fuel pickup issue, and it looks like that might take Blaney out of the race, and that is good news for Briscoe because Blaney is just above the cut line and Briscoe is just below it. Chase Elliott has worked his way into the conversation, and he was trying to battle from some early adversity. He finally got a good qualifying run after not making the final round the first 3 races of the playoffs. Also taking note of Daniel Suarez, who has worked his way up into the top 5. He's currently 11th in points, and this could be a good run for him, especially with some of the troubles that we've seen some of the playoff drivers have already. Elliott comes down to pit lane. He's going to start this green flag cycle for the 3rd stage and the final one that will bring us to the end of the race. And we got some trouble here on the backstretch. Cody Ware going around. Tried to clear himself up the track, and Chris Buescher was there, and the 51 goes around on the backstretch, and it looks like everyone's going to be able to avoid him. So just a minor spin on the backstretch, but that will bring out the caution, and now Chase Elliott and Chase Briscoe side by side. And Chase Elliott's going to have the advantage. We see Bell working his way up here, but this is to get his lap back. He is not on the lead lap, but he could be if he can get around the 9 car. And now Daniel Suarez is the one in 2nd position, trying to chase down Chase Elliott. He's starting to run out of time, though. 3 seconds back, and the laps are counting down. We're looking at Denny Hamlin, who just really hasn't been in this conversation at all. He's running inside the top 20, but really haven't mentioned his name yet today because he hasn't really done anything up near the front of the field. But the 11 car is just hoping to get away from this race with a decent finish, hopefully to keep himself in contention as the white flag is waved on Chase Elliott. Yet to see a playoff driver win a playoff race yet, as 3 different drivers have gone to victory lane not in the playoffs, and Elliott has won more than anyone this season 4 times, but hasn't gone to victory lane since Pocono and had a few bad finishes in that stretch. Finally found his mojo at Bristol with a 2nd place run, but today it's going to be one better. Checkered flag flies for Chase Elliott. So make it victory number 5 on the season for Elliott, and the 9 team will go to victory lane. As we look at the final finishing results, Daniel Suarez able to work his way up into second position. Chase Briscoe in third, Ross Chastain in fourth. A great day for Trackhouse Racing as both of their cars finished inside the top 5, and Christopher Bell worked his way back onto the lead lap. Unfortunately, didn't catch a caution that would have allowed him to maybe go for a couple more positions. Unfortunately, 3 of the 4 drivers that got eliminated last round finished inside the top 10. Austin Dillon 6th, Kyle Busch 7th, Tyler Reddick 9th. You also had Kevin Harvick, despite that tire issue, actually finished 15th, so he came back from that. Talk about some of the nonchalant days. Joey Logano finished 14th and Denny Hamlin 17th. A little bit surprising to see that. Our pole sitter, Brad Keselowski, really didn't have the pace to keep up. He finishes 22nd. And then Ryan Blaney goes to the garage with a fuel pickup issue. He finishes 24th. Kyle Larson and William Byron taken out in that multi-car accident, and Austin Cindric back in 35th. He was actually involved in that Byron-Haley accident. He had a bit of his front end cut off. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.